Cat mode.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us tonight for a new episode of the Frisco Report. Mike is back from vacation, kicking it back here with the Frisco Report. Glad to have you back, bro. So, lots to cover tonight, everybody. We're going to get into the latest news of the day. Free agency, we'll hit up on that. And we're going to get into who the Cowboys have met with, who they are interested in. And then Mike is going to give a 5-round mock draft. You and him will break down the draft. I will analyze the picks that Mike and you guys make as this goes along. So great show tonight. Lots of key information. We're going to hit up on all the hot topics of the day. Mike, how you doing, bro?
Good. Hey, big shout out to all the Dallas natives out there. I went to the Dallas Zoo, and great zoo, great city. I thank you for everybody in Dallas hosted that. Had fun there. Then, if you're from the Dallas area and you're over 18 and older, WinStar World Casino in Thackerville, Oklahoma, guys, exit 3 will take you right to there on I-35. They got a Dallas Cowboy bar and grill, Joe. And that Star, it's not open yet, but you could walk past it and see it. It's in the Beijing section over there at that big casino. That thing's going to be massive. So if you don't want to buy a party pass or something and you want to go to that casino and watch a game on Sunday or whatever, I think that's going to be a great place to watch a game. Take pictures, have fun, do what you do. But I had fun on my little escape, Joe.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, that is a really good casino if you're in the area. Shout out to everybody that's joining us live. Shout out to everybody out there. Thanks for joining us. Mike, free agency looks like it's winding down. The Cowboys, they don't ever take that big tidal wave. It's more of the crashing wave. You're on the boogie board, that these types of players. But looks like for the most part, the major signings are over now. There is word that they may make one last kind of little splash here for maybe like Malik Hooker or DeMonte Kazee. What's your thoughts on either of those two players? Do you prefer either one of those?
I like Malik Hooker from the Colts. We talked about him in our free agency coverage. Big shout out to Joe. He talked about Neil coming over here in our free agent covered a couple of shows back. Joe got his guy right here on the football team. And I think I talked about Hooker in that show too. So give me Hooker. I like his physicality. I like the way he balls. Yes, he's coming off an Achilles injury, things of that sort. But I think it could be a great addition to this football team. I really think if they get Malik Hooker in here, it will be an even bigger signing than Keno Neal.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I think it's a good thing for the Cowboys that put themselves into a very good position with what they've done in free agency. This is what they do. Next year will be the same, and the year after. They're not ever going to go after the big ticket guys. So we just need to really train ourselves at the end of the season into the offseason that, no, they're not going to go after the guys a lot of us like. This is what they do. So Malik Hooker, because they have the injury history, obviously. But, Mike, you have to think that these would be short-term deals anyway. It probably wouldn't stop them from possibly drafting players. Is that kind of how you feel about this?
I mean, every move they made on the defensive line, which it's kind of funny, Joe, because we've been talking about where would you go, right? We talked about drafting an offensive lineman. They got one in free agency. We talked about getting defensive tackles. They got almost a handful in free agency. Now we're talking about the back end. We talked about special teams, Joe. Yeah. They're covering everything we've already talked about. But at the same token, to answer your question, Joe, they're still handling business so they can go BPA in that draft.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the flexibility comes into this with the flex, right? So Do they want to stay at 10? Do you want to bail and pick up some more picks? Do you want to even maybe move up? Like, I think that really, leaves the door open as far as what they can do in the draft. Do you want to move up in the second? Do you want to go from 44 to 33, 34, somewhere in that range? You know what I mean? So I think it's something they may be able to consider. You know what I mean? So shout out to what they've done. I know a lot of fans aren't really with what a lot of the moves, but of all the moves they've made, Mike, do you have any favorite move, whether it's Basham, Keanu Neal, or any of these, or Urban, or any of these guys? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I like Urban from the Chicago Bears that they picked up. I know I haven't been making content on my channel. I've been meaning to talk about this on my channel, but why not talk about it right here on the Frisco Report, Joe? I like Urban. I like his. I just like his enthusiasm. He never. You watch a lot of the mic ups and a little bit of highlights and some stuff that really doesn't go on highlight rails. I like the way the guy plays. I like his motor. He don't stop. Terrell Basham, the same type of player, doesn't stop, doesn't give up. Really like that about what they're going here. Carlos Watkins, when he first got drafted, everybody's like, who's that? You know what I'm saying? But I really think he could be a really good rotational piece, not a starter, right? I think he can be a rotational piece. They're not signing these big names, right? But they're bringing pieces in bigger than a camp body per se, right? And what I hate about this, though, is the 1-year deal things, right? Kyle Hyder just signed a 3-year deal, 49ers or to the Seahawks. We just had him a couple of years ago. That's what you get out of a 1-year deal. You just use him for 1 year and get away. You don't really get to tap into potential. And Hyder had that type of potential coming out of Detroit. So that's the biggest con of 1-year deals. You don't really get to tap into potential. But I think if they can really use that 1-year deal going into next year's salary cap and ball out, then that's the gamble.
Yeah. Yeah, so chat box, I see a lot of Bashams, I see a lot of Urban, so definitely really good moves. Talking about external free agent additions, I'm not really counting that because that was kind of the internal guy. You're just trying to keep him from leaving, so I don't really count that one. But that is a really good move by the Cowboys, keeping that. But a lot of Urbans, I think, they feel a need, Mike, with the run defense. As being leaky as it was the last couple of seasons, he was right at the top PFF grades if people are into that. So,
well, and here's my thing about that too, Joe, is let's not get overhyped. I told you that I like these guys, right? But to your point, you've been saying it and preaching it on your channel. I'm taking your advice, Joe. I'm not going to crown these guys yet.
Yeah.
Okay? We got hyped about Dontarian Poe. We got hyped about Gerald McCoy.
Yeah.
We got hyped for Kaha Clinton-Dix, and nothing really turned out for it, right? So, yes, I like Urban. Yes, I like Terrell Basham. But on the same token, I have my hands up. I'm stepping back, and I'm ready to look at the big picture, Joe.
Exactly. No, that's true. You do have to do that because a lot of us, myself included, you fall in love with some of the names and what they've done before, but then, you don't know what you're getting until week one, because you're going to hear the camp news, so-and-so's turning heads, this and that. People fall in love for the undrafted guys who rarely have any impact. So, yeah, it's a great reminder, Mike. Appreciate that very much. Monty with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the mention here. Appreciate you guys. Now, Mike, what we want to get into is who the Cowboys have met with. I've been making a couple of videos here of certain players, but we're going to kind of go over a little bit of an overview of names that have been attached to the Cowboys and who they met with and who they actually are planning to meet with. So we got a lot of good names to cover here real quick. We'll touch on them briefly, and then we'll get into your 5-round mock draft. You and the subscribers will take that on, and I'll break down your picks. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here real quick, guys. Who the Cowboys have met with. A little refresher. If you guys missed on some of my videos, go back and check those out. But we're going to go over a little bit of it here with you guys right now, okay? And so this is just kind of a brief overview. You have Elijah Molden is a player I reported here earlier. with the Cowboys meeting it virtually. The cornerback out of Washington, Mike, he's more of a nickel corner, has a little bit of flex, but you know what they've done with Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, keeping these guys around. You know, maybe nickel corner doesn't become such a big need, but you never know where some of these players may end up, falling. Could Molden go into the third? If he goes into the third, that might be an attractive pick. All right, Mike. What's your thoughts on Elijah Molden?
Elijah Molden, I really haven't covered him. I think he's a cornerback out of Washington. I think. I'm looking for some notes here because I know the Cowboys met with him. 5'10", 190. Cowboys just gave Jordan Lewis the Anthony Brown extension. But again, the Cowboys, what they've done, the signings they've done doesn't stop them from drafting BPA, right? So if this guy is the best player on their board, I'm all for it here. 190 pounds. I like the thickness. I like the toughness. I liked his instincts that he plays with. To me, he's a slot, but he's a safety, right? But I think he could. If you need to have him covering some slot receivers, if you need to have him covering tight ends, do I think he can do it? Absolutely. I like his coverage. His man's to me, Joe. His man's kind of iffy, but his zone coverage is real good for me, Joe.
Yeah, guys in the chat, what do you guys think of Molden? Any Washington fans, let me know what you guys think of Elijah Molden. If you like him, Cowboys have high interest in this player, so that's one there. Another player, Mike, that they have met with, and this was early on, and that is Shane Simpson, the running back out of Virginia. He's a transfer out of Towson, but out of Virginia, more of a utility back in this sort of thing. I think some of these players, they could be going late rounds, even in some cases undrafted, because the Cowboys, they've done this before. They've brought in players and they end up just bringing them in as undrafted players. So Shane Simpson, not sure where he would go. I haven't really checked him out, but Cowboys have interest in him there, Mike. Now, one interesting one here is Trevon Merrick, the safety out of TCU. The Cowboys have a scheduled meeting with him, so you can add him to the list of high interest. And Mike, for me, Merrick is definitely a need. You need that safety in this Dan Quinn system that can give you that range, that can cover, that can play in the box if needed. I mean, he's done all of that at TCU. TCU fans, let us know in the chat box. But Mike, what's your thoughts on Trevon Merrick, Cowboys' interest?
I don't know if I can really talk on him, Joe. I don't know much about him.
Yeah,
I don't know much about him.
No, that's good, man. Yeah, whoever you've looked at, just chime in on that, guys in the chat box. What do you guys think about the Cowboys setting up a meeting with Trevon Merrick? Of the safeties that are out there, I think this is one that was kind of a player that has been talked about early on. He was in one of my earlier, actually, I think my very first mock draft in December. I had Trevon Merrick in that mock draft, but he's creeping up the draft boards. I think he had a pretty good pro day. I know our Darius Washington had a little bit more numbers and that sort of thing, but that player there, I think, is high on the Cowboys for a reason. Now, will they in fact draft a safety? And obviously there is Richie Grant as well. That's probably my number one safety. It's still Richie Grant. But I think number 2 is going to be Trevon Merrick. So 1A, 1B, and we'll see what's going on there. Guys, what do you think about
202 pounds?
Yeah, he's got the size. He's got everything you want. He looked pretty good. And Coach Joe Witt was out there, working these guys out. He was out there running the workout, running the pro day there at TCU with these guys. So when you have the coaches there, and Broadus mentioned this on the draft show. If you guys missed that, go check that one out. But Broadus did mention that when you send coaches out there, it's to get a little bit more confirmation. Like there's a little bit more something to it. So Trevon Merrick, very high interest, guys. Travis Banks, he likes Javon Holland out of Oregon, better than Merrick. So everybody has their preferences. Obviously, appreciate that, Tavis. Appreciate you, bro, as usual. Javon Holland, he's in the mix. Obviously, he's one of the other safeties that people are talking about. Cowboys have not met with him yet. However, the next one here, Mike Joseph Asai. The Cowboys at the Pro Day here as well. Will McClay, your top scouts were here. They met with Joseph Asai. Interest there, possible edge rushing type of player. To me, I have him as a 2-3. So, another player that is still raw with his weapons as far as like a game plan to rush the quarterback, but plays the run really well. In my opinion, I think he has a little bit of that DeMarcus Lawrence in him, as far as playing the run really well. And if you can just improve some of those pass rushing skills, I think you can mold him into something really good here. Yeah. So what do you guys think about Joseph Osai? You guys down with him?
6'4", 253 pounds. He had five sacks in 2019, 1 sack in 2018. I see a player growing into his position. Looking at those numbers, linebacker maybe not be his trait. Maybe in a 3-4, that's an outside linebacker, a DeMarcus Ware type player, maybe. A stand-up guy. Absolutely. I see him as a stand-up guy with the speed and the elusiveness, Joe, that he has. But I see a player developing into his own. I don't think it will take long for him to gradually work into that starting role in maybe a year or two, or win a starting role in this year's training camp, whoever he gets drafted by.
Yeah. So chat box, not too high on Osai. Obviously, the keyword is raw, and he is raw. Now I broke him down. If you guys missed that video, go check out my Joseph Osai video. Tevin Jenkins really had his way with him, and I kind of mentioned the pros and cons of it. I never really go into breaking down film where I just look at the positives. You know what I mean? That's not real film breaking.
He's coming into his own.
You gotta look at the bad. You gotta look at the good. So yeah, go check that out if you missed it. But he is on the Cowboys' radar. So let's see what Will McClay and the gang have. As far as that, the next one here that the Cowboys have met with, Jameen Sherwood, the safety out of Auburn. I mentioned this here a couple of days ago. High interest there. Scouts met there with Jameen Sherwood. So high interest in this one here. I would say Jameen is probably like a day 3 prospect, but and I think he's more of a strong safety, from what I've seen out of Jameen. Guys, if you're an Auburn fan, let me know what you guys think of Jameen Sherwood. I have him as a strong safety. As somebody that you want to add into the mix, bring him along and see what he can give you. Special teams as well. And this is another player that like I talked about, there's a little bit of this this talk about, a safety that can be a linebacker that can be a safety. And in this case, Jameen Sherwood, he kind of fits that mold of a Keanu Neal in that he gives you strong safety, but some teams are looking at him as one of these guys that you can play closer to the box. You can flex him out as a linebacker. So Jameen Sherwood out of Auburn, guys. Let me know what you guys think of that. Cowboys have high interest there, Mike.
Yeah. I'm looking at my notes here. One thing I found out, Joe, that I didn't like his recovery speed. He reminds me of Jalen Smith with a lot of the hands over the eyes coverage. You know what I'm saying? He loses his recovery, and he loses his track when playing man-to-man. That scares me with tight ends and faster slots, Joe. So I'm not very high on this Auburn player here.
Yeah, and for a strong safety, you really don't want to have them covering tight ends. You do typically want these guys closer to the box, and that's the same with Keanu Neal. Keanu Neal, you don't want him covering running backs, tight ends. You want to keep him in the box, let him do what he does. So yeah, I think Jameen is in that similar mold. Hey, Lavelle with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. What up, Joe and Mike? With Farley's injury history, does he now fall out of favor with us even in later rounds, and should go in later rounds for replace Sean Lee? And who should go in later rounds for play? Okay. Yeah, so we'll talk about this here real quick for you, Lavelle. So Yeah, so the Caleb Farley news came out here that he had a back disectomy uh, in his back. So for me, I scratch him off. You know what I mean? Now, for what the Cowboys do, it's the second round. They roll the dice. That's where they roll the dice with off-field players, injury players. He could definitely fall. I'm saying he could definitely fall. Sidney Jones, he had the ruptured Achilles during the pro day there with Washington a few years ago. The Eagles rolled the dice on him, redshirted, that sort of thing. Now with Farley, I don't think you're going to need to redshirt him, but when you have a back like this, backs are a really finicky thing. Anybody that has had any sort of back injury knows that it doesn't ever really go away. You know what I mean? Whether it's a lumbar or whatever, it's back injuries are not good. So yeah, I do feel bad for him as well. Farley, I think he will fall. I think some of the mock drafts that are still going out there, they haven't caught up to the news. So and the simulators as well. But you never know. Some team might be like, hey, I'm good with it. And somebody might be like good with it. But what's your thoughts on the Farley surgery news, Mike? Are you scratching them off your list?
I'm not. I'm not going to scratch them off my list. Good news. Well, it's the NFL, right? They talk to your kindergarten friend when they want you, when they want to draft you. They go all the way back to your preacher. They go back to your teacher. I mean, the NFL is like the FBI. They're going to investigate this. The right team. Look at Jalen Smith. No one wanted to touch him. Cowboys doctors did the surgery. They had all the in scoop, right? They had all the insight. So a team knows Farley. They know what's going on. They have this down. They probably know the doctor. They trust the doctor. The doctor probably said, hey, I'll tell you everything you want to know, whatever, right? There's no HIPAA in the NFL. There should be, but there isn't. So teams get the 411 on everything. I'm not out on Farley. You brought up a good point here, Joe, about the second round is the gambling round for the Cowboys, right? Yeah. Randy Gregory, Jalen Smith, Sean Lee, right. Trading up for DeMarcus Lawrence out of Boise State there. That was a big gamble, right? So that's their gamble round. And I see the Cowboys maybe, if he's there, maybe dip in there, try to get a steal. But I'm not too concerned about the surgery.
Yeah. And as far as Lavelle's second question, who in later rounds could replace Sean Lee or Jalen Smith? So just a few off the top of my head would be, someone like a Garrett Wallow out of TCU. He had really good numbers. When I looked at his pro day numbers, I was pretty impressed. The 3-cone was good. He had a relatively good workout for the most part, better than I thought. So I keep an eye on Garrett Wallow, and obviously my boy out of Boston College, Isaiah McDuffie. Go check him out. Really good sound player. Kind of, he can give you that Sam linebacker type of flex. So that would be more of a Jalen Smith type of late rounder type of replacement. But those guys, I think, Wallow or Isaiah McDuffie, I think you're looking at a day 3 selection. So keep that in mind. Appreciate the donation, Lavelle. Thank you very much, brother.
Give me Monty Rice.
So we do have a couple of people mentioning here. Another super chat here. The 94's Haley Ware Gregory. Thank you, brother. Grab Hooker and Kazee. Drop Darian Thompson. Yeah, I'm with that. And save $1 million to help pay for those two. Still draft Grant at 44. Yeah, that would be something. Maybe, and then you can never have enough DBs, right, Mike? Because you do have a lot of attrition as the season goes along. We are getting the 17-game season this year as well. So, teams are definitely going to have to juggle injuries this season and that sort of thing. So Hooker and Kazee, both of them, I'm for that. Darian Thompson has never been somebody that I've really thought was anything but just a player to me. You know what I mean? So, but I know they like him on special teams. What's your thought on that, Mike? Would you keep both and drop Darian?
I've been seeing a lot of Cowboy fans on Twitter saying grab both.
Yeah.
With Darian, one thing about Thompson, he might be booty, but he's reliable. He really hasn't been hurt. We're talking about two players that are coming off season-ending injuries from last year, guys. So that Brandon Carr sucked, right? But he was there every game. He was reliable. So we got to make sure that it's it's quantity over quality sometimes. And Darian Thompson will give you the quantity of games to sustain instead of a third stringer going in there and filling in for things. So we got to keep that in mind too. So I'm not for dropping Darian Thompson. I want competition there at that position, and I want durability there also, Joe.
That's a great point. That is a very great point as far as the durability. And I think they probably would. You know what I mean? You do need the competition because we keep mentioning this. We got to see how this thing plays out. You know, uh, they're not married to any of these players, especially these 1 year guys. They've made these deals where they could be cut, just like a Clinton Dix. You know what I mean? Some people will look at the contract and be like, they're not gonna get cut, but these 1 year players, and it is possible. They did it last year with Worley, Poe, and Clinton Dix. So yeah, let's let the competition play out.
And Army Mom Heather C. And there's certain situations where I get it, quality over quantity in some cases, right? But when you're talking about the safety position, you talk about two players that are coming off season-ending injuries, and Darian Thompson's been available. You have to take that into consideration. Not every position, not every player, but some. And when you're talking about two guys season-ending injury, you need some reliability, some durability there.
Yeah, great points by everybody there. Appreciate you. Appreciate the chat box. Make sure you guys hit pound that like button if you would. Help us out on the channel. Helps out the channel immensely. Let's continue with who the Cowboys have met with, who they have interested with. And the next one here is the most recent one, and that is Patrick Surtain, the big cornerback of Alabama. They just did the Pro Day today. Cowboys were on hand there, met with Patrick Surtain, and they brought out the big guns. Mike McCarthy, Will McClay, and I can't confirm if Dan Quinn was there or not, but those two were there. Serious business, and he had a hell of a Pro Day. We had a lot of unofficial times, anywhere from a 4.42 to a 4.46. So those are really good numbers, really good numbers. And with this whole injury thing here with Farley now, I think you're looking at, here we go. Here comes the conversation back. Full circle now, right, Mike? Because, I think when this whole draft season started, a lot of the talk was Surtain. And then you look at what the Cowboys have done in free agency. We don't have really a legit number one or number two next to Trevon Diggs. Anthony Brown, he can do it, but I want to get better there. Right, Mike?
Yes. Patrick Surtain really up the needle, right? A couple of shows ago, I picked Josh Horn over Surtain. And
J.C. Horn.
What did I say?
You said Josh.
I picked Horn over Surtain, right?
There you go.
I'm not doing that. If it's this draft here in a minute, I'm not doing that again, right? Because Surtain earned a little piece of respect from Cowboys corner, man. I think I'm digging this Surtain if he's there at 10. I don't think it's very rich. I don't think it's very, very rich to draft a corner at 10. Cowboys did it with Morris Claiborne at 6. So why would 10 be rich? Give me him at 10 if he's there. Do not go tight end. Let me say that again. Do not go tight end.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a number one cornerback. So, it's as tempting as that might be if Pitts is there, and he might not. We'll see. So there's going to be teams in front that may want to take him. But, if we get there to April, we finish free agency, and they don't add anybody, that immediately becomes, possibly your biggest hole. You know what I mean? So Patrick Surtain did himself a really good thing with his Pro Day. Had a good bench. I think it was 18 at 225. That's really good for him. 6'2", and his arms, I think, measured like at 34 or something crazy. 32. He has really long arms. So the Cowboys, he checks all those boxes. He checks all those metrics. I did a video on the anti-metrics. Shout out to everybody that understood that mock draft. Shout out to all you guys. Some people didn't get that one, but this does check the boxes for the Cowboys metrics. 6 foot and above, Mike. Long arms, checks that off. The height, weight, the speed. So
Well, here's my thing though, Joe. We could have Trayvon Diggs on the left. We can have Surtain on the right, or vice versa. It doesn't matter to me. In defenses, it is your front seven. We need dogs at linebacker. We need dogs on that offensive line. Because if your defense isn't sacking the quarterback, your corners are running with their receivers all over the field, right? You have to take care of your front seven, and your corners will take care of the rest. But you got to invest in that front seven first.
absolutely. Soup Trap with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Long time member subscriber here. Okay, so here we go. Slater, Pitts, or Surtain, available 10. Who are you taking? Are you concerned at all about Grant being almost 24 already? Great point there, Mike. What do you think about this one?
Surtain. I literally just said it, and then I seen Soup Trap. Shout out to Soup Trap here. Every week he's here. Yeah, Surtain all day.
Yeah, for me, it would be really tough to walk away from Slater, though. For me, and but then you put yourself in the position as far as like, if you do take Slater, or let's say you don't go cornerback, it doesn't have to be Pitts, it could be somebody else. But if Slater's there, I have to take him, and so in that point, in that scenario, I'm either looking at trading back into the first to grab a corner, Newsome, one of these guys might be there, or move up in the second to get another cornerback. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's going to be a little bit of a battle there as far as what they want to do there, Mike. But that's who I would do. And are you concerned about Richie Grant being almost 24 already?
It's Brandon Weeden Jr. Then we have these questions. What was it, Brandon Weeden 26? I think Brandon Weeden was 26 coming out of the draft. No,
yeah, he was old.
No, I'm not concerned with him being 24. You see, he ain't taking the NFL hits. He still got tread on the tire. I'm not concerned with Grant almost being 24.
Yeah, and then at the safety position, I think you're good there. Now, if it's a running back, one of these guys where that number it is pretty relative to decrease in production for running backs, I would be concerned. But being a safety, 24, we've seen some really good safeties play late into the careers, So, I'm not really too concerned about that, Super Chat. But great question. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Thank you for always coming through. Let's keep this thing going with who else the Cowboys have interest in. Who have they met with?
Well,
the next one here.
We got 187 viewers, guys. I need 10 people right now to click a like. We're at 49 likes. Let's get to 59 likes. 1, 2, 3, like. Bam. Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, sir. Thank you. There you go. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. Indeed, we do appreciate that very much. But yeah, the next one here, Mike. Florida State, they have their Pro Day. Cowboys sent out their defensive line coach here, checking out Marvin Wilson. They also have another defensive end over there. But, Marvin Wilson, another need here for the Cowboys as far as like if you want to beef up and get another Baconator in there, Mike. Marvin Wilson, this is a fan favorite, I guess you could say. I know you and I like him. A lot of fans in the chat box like him in the draft. What is your thoughts here on the Cowboys having interest here in sending out their D-line coach to check out Marvin Wilson to check him out and talk to this boy?
They're watching the Frisco report, Joe. That's what it is. They're listening to Cowboys blog. They're listening to Cowboys corner. They know that Marvin Wilson needs to be on this football team. Everything you talk about checking the boxes, right, with Slater and Surtain and all these guys checking the boxes, right? Marvin Wilson, if he's there and you really think he's not going to be there, you might have to trade back into the second round, Joe, and go get him. That's the type of player this guy is. If you don't think he's going to last, they need this type of player. I just imagine Neville Gallimore and Marvin Wilson, Tank Lawrence, and Randy Gregory on the field at the same time, and you got those corners back there. Let's say they did draft Surtain, right? You get or Horn. So you got Diggs back there. You got Horn. Maybe Hooker's healthy. You got Donovan. Dude, I really think Marvin Wilson could be that big anchor in the middle defense with Neville Gallimore wrecking shop, man. I really think it could happen. This is a great addition. Go. Just go draft him right now. Just go do it.
There's high interest here for a reason, And as far as him being too fat, I saw him recently, and he looked ripped. And this is leading up to the draft workout. So, I want to go back and check out the pro day, how he looked physically. But I know just maybe like 2 weeks ago, he looked pretty shredded. I wouldn't say he's one of these like fat, overweight type of guys. He's just a big, massive guy. So, but with these larger players, that's definitely something that you do need to watch. So that's a good take there, Army Mom Heather. Appreciate the comment there on that one there. But Marvin Wilson, Cowboys have high interest there. What do you guys think in the chat box? Are you Marvin Wilson fans? Let me know if you are. What you guys think of him? Keep that conversation going. Indeed, MNZ GMZ. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Longtime supporter of the channel. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Can't do this without you guys.
For sure.
Next player that we're going to talk about is the one right next to Marvin Wilson, and that's Milton Williams out of La Tech, Louisiana Tech. He's your flex DT, DE. To me, when you look at I'm going to do a film breakdown of this player because the Cowboys, they sent 6 representatives to look at this player. They have high interest in Milton Williams, guys. So go check him out. Give me a couple of days. I want to put this one out here. Hopefully by the weekend, I can have a good film breakdown on Milton Williams as far as like the pros and cons of him. But guys, Cowboys have high interest in him. They met with him, Louisiana Tech. He is your upgrade of a Tyron Crawford. They're not bringing back Crawford, thank God. So you kind of need that type of flex player. Cowboys love that. And I think you get an upgrade there with a Milton Williams. I think he's a freaky athletic player on first look. A couple of views I've looked at him, pretty impressive. You know what I mean? Pretty impressive. Any Law Tech fans, let me know what you guys think of Milton Williams. He had a really good Exos workout. We had the little regional scouting combines, and he was quick, really fast off the line. He had a burner of a 40. So, go check him out.
It did really. A lot of the draft profiles I was reading on him was that he didn't have a good first step off the line, and he didn't have a lot of physical traits moving offensive linemen. So I can't really talk on him. I got to do my research too, but those are kind of the scouting reports that I've read from him. But they could be wrong. I got to go get my own opinion.
Yeah, that's where they're at with that one there. Got more comments coming along. Thank you guys for checking out the channel. Keep them coming. McNeil, haven't heard if they met with him or not. South Carolina Pro Day has not happened yet, as far as I know, but we'll keep an eye on that one, Jesse. Lamont with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Joe, Shelvin out of LSU will be a monster of this draft. He could be the next Vince Wilfork. I like Wilson, but LSU puts in far better talent than FSU. You know what I do like out of and I am a fan of Shelvin. I think you want to put him in there as a one tech. I think he would be good. But you know what I do like about Florida State, and I think Alabama does a pretty good job as well, as their defensive tackle guys that come into the league. They're pretty productive. You know what I mean? Whether it's Broderick Bunkley or some of these other guys. Man, I'm forgetting some of the names, but they've had a pretty good track record of defensive tackles at the NFL. But man, if you can get the next Vince Wolf, or Shelvin would be an interesting look at. So we'll see about that one there, Lamont. Appreciate the super chat.
And because I know this is not talking draft here, but because we're talking about Florida State players and things of that sort, Tristan Hill, before he got hurt, guys, he was having a heck of a year. So I'm not ruling him out either. Keep Tristan Hill in the back of your mind, because you could probably hear his name during this offseason.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. So looking at the last one here is J.C. Horn.
Ooh, Josh Horn. I got a friend named Josh Horn.
J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn has said that he has scheduled a meeting with the Cowboys, so this is high interest. Cowboys could take him early. Would you take him at 10, Mike, if it's between him or Patrick Surtain, who would you go with? Do you have a preference there?
After that pro day today, and someone put in the comment section, he's Surtain's a 4-5 guy, but Horn, I mean, they're almost the same, but they're not. I like Horn's physicality, man. I like his bump and run. Bump and run is going to get you far in the National Football League, even if you have a suspect defensive line. So that bump and run is going to save you time. It's going to buy the defensive line that's ass time to go get that quarterback because you're bumping and you're running with these guys. So it's a tie for me. I wouldn't be mad either way if they went Horn. I wouldn't be mad if they went Surtain, Joe.
It's a good problem to have. I will say that. You know what I mean? Because if you're in the teens and the 20s, you're probably not going to have a shot at either two of these blue chip players. So it is a really good problem to have. Joe IAD, he's a bit of a grabber. So, the study I've done on Horn is that he gets emotional. He's a very emotional cornerback. So he is kind of like a Marcus Peters, right? So, there will be times where you see him taking on a block. He won't shed the block. He stays on the block angry with the guy like, hey, what the hell are you doing? And the guy will run past him. Like, he needs to get a little bit away from that emotional part. If you can clean that up and some of the flags, after the play, I think you have a really good cornerback there. But it's a good problem to have. I would be fine with either one, to be honest. That's where I'm at with. If it's Surtain, if it's Horn, I'm good. I don't want Farley. Scratch that one off the list.
And this is why, guys. If Surtain's gone and we wind up at Horn, would you be happy with Horn or Anthony Brown playing over there, opposite of Trayvon Diggs? Would you be happy with Horn or Jordan Lewis playing opposite of Trayvon Diggs? You gotta ask yourself these questions, guys.
Yeah, that's a great point. When you put it in those terms, that's what it is, right? I mean, you do need to upgrade over Anthony Brown. You can't go into the season with Anthony Brown. Yes, he's done it, but you don't want him to do it.
Yeah. See, I finally got Amy, our Army mom, to say Horn for once.
Yeah. Great commentary there in the chat box, guys. We do appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Mike, now it is time to get into your 5-round mock draft. Are you ready to rock and roll?
I will be here in just a second. What do we use again? Pro Football Network?
You can use whatever you want, man. I kind of prefer Pro Football Focus, but if you want to roll with a different simulator, go for it. Probably not FanSpeak, though. FanSpeak has gone downhill. I wouldn't use that one.
You said Pro Football Focus?
Yeah, PFF Draft Simulator.
Yep, I got it right here.
There you go, guys. In the chat box, while Mike's getting this going, give him your input. I'll let Mike know who you're wanting him to take possibly. Let's see if we can sway some of his picks.
My what you would call it? My memory's shot. All right, so here we go. Can y'all see my screen?
Let's get that on there. There we go. All right, guys.
All right. So randomness all the way to the left. All right.
5 rounds.
We're doing 5 rounds. Cinco.
So that means we're going to have our 2 4s. And do we have 2 5s or just 1 5? I forget.
We're about to find out because we're about to draft.
I think it's 1. I think, it's 2 3s, 2 4. I think it's just 1 5. Yeah.
All right. So I need you to watch the comment section for me.
All right, my bro. Everybody in the chat box, let's rock and roll. Mike's 5-round mock.
And I'm not trading because no one likes my trades.
Yeah, let's just keep it standard because the trade, this thing will go to midnight if we start doing trades.
All right, so right off the bat, Cowboys' biggest mistake is on the board, Kyle Pitts. They cannot draft tight end, man. There's too many needs. I would rather go offensive line than tight end, Joe. I'm just being straight up honest with you. So if you're putting Kyle Pitts in the comment section, ignore him, Joe. At my request.
Okay, guys, who do you want?
We got Rashawn Slater right there in the mix, y'all.
He could be there.
We talked about Slater right there. Let's go corner. Let's go corner real quick. I almost bought a wireless mouse. I almost did. I don't know why I didn't. So we got Farley. We just talked about his injuries, his back surgery that he needs done. We got Patrick Surtain. We got J.C. Horn. All these guys we're talking about, Joe, they're right there, right? What else? What other positions you want to look at?
Okay, we got a couple guys chiming in here. Sir, we got a Surtain. We got Slater, Surtain, Surtain, or Horn. So it looks like I would say between those three, Mike. We do have a lot of Surtains. We do have a lot of Horns coming in the chat box. Another Slater. Got another Slater.
Got another Slater, huh? So we don't have faith in Tyron Smith, right? We don't have. There's no faith in Tyron Smith, right? So we use our number 10 pick. Our number 10 pick. We got Brendan Knight, who I thought filled in well, right? Terrence Steele, another issue. Brendan Knight, I thought filled in pretty well for Tyron Smith, right? So we're going to 10th pick for that, Joe. We're going to use a 10th pick. We just got that big Dallas native free agent. I can't think of his name right now, but we just picked him up. But we're going to use our 10th pick on Slater right here, right? But we got bigger issues over here on the defense side of the ball. Am I wrong or am I wrong?
We got Surtain with exclamation points in the chat box. So I think guys are kind of looking more at cornerback, and it does make a lot of sense because like we just talked about Anthony Brown.
Well, I didn't know that. He said he wanted to be a 49er. Horn, get out of here, baby. We're going with Surtain, guys.
All right, there you go. So there's the pick there. So Surtain, I like that. He checks all the boxes, like I said, and he's some people say he's a safe pick. I'm fine with having a safe pick.
I'm fine, but I just see myself going offensive lineman with the 10th overall pick when you got a solid backup piece of Brendan Knight, and who knows, there could be somebody in the draft later on that could feel. I just don't feel comfortable drafting. I would rather have all offensive linemen than tight end, Joe. But I got to go defense. Now, all my picks are not going to be defense, but I got to go defense on some of these.
Yeah, definitely mix it up. It's not going to be all defense. The Cowboys are going to throw some curveballs in this draft for sure. I deal with that issue all the time. Slater, if he's there, or one of these DBs, man, that's going to be tough.
All right. So here we are with the second pick, Joe, 44 overall. What positions are we looking at here, guys?
What do you guys want in the chat box? Let Mike know what you prefer. Is safety there? You got Merrick. Who do you have there at safeties available, Mike?
Safety real quick. Right there. Bam. Oh, we got Elijah Molden. We just talked about him.
Interesting that they're putting him as a safety. So I guess maybe they want to flex him as a safety. So that's interesting. So
Richie Grant is right there.
Richie Grant, Cisco. So Merrick's gone, huh? Paris Ford is horrible. He had a train wreck of a pro day. I'm scratching him off the list. I wouldn't even take him in a late round.
Paris Ford?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, man. Richie Grant is all over the place. So, Joe, I mean, it's self-explanatory, Joe. Why beat around the bush? We're going to go ahead and draft a wide receiver this one. I'm just kidding. We're going to Richie Grant here in the second round.
There you go. So far, you have your first pick was Surtain, right?
That's right. Yeah, we got Surtain, and we got how do you look on here again? Dang, I forgot. I got Surtain and I got Grant.
So you got Surtain and Grant. So great start to this draft. I think the having to rebuild that secondary. You're off to a great start, Mike. I like those picks. You're in the third round, number 75. What do you guys want Mike to look at here in the third round? LB next.
We took care of Cedric Wilson. We took care of Noah Brown. They're coming back, Joe. So I'm not really looking at wide receiver. I think I'll be wasting my time looking at wide receiver, Joe. But again, we just talked about offensive line, right? We talked about an issue. This is where I'd be really comfortable going offensive line. This is where I'd be really comfortable going interior D line. Guys like Marvin Wilson, things of that sort right here in the third round. Where would you guys go? See, defensive tackle all day long. So let's go look at the defensive tackle position right here, Joe. You ready?
Yeah, seeing a lot of DTs in the chat box. A lot of DT. Got a couple of people wanting you to look at linebacker as well. DT Levi, linebacker. Richie's already been taken. Got a lot of Levi's if he's there. So Marvin Wilson, obviously high interest there. Mike, if you want to go there as well. Tommy T out of Ohio State from Brad Cannon. DT, Haley Ware Gregory.
Well, here we go.
Right, tackle Wilson, Tommy T. Joe B says linebacker. Got a lot of Levi's. A lot of Levi love in the chat box tonight.
Oh, out of Washington. He's right there, Joe. What do you think, Joe? I think Wilson's already gone. I don't see Wilson in here. I think Wilson bounced.
He could have been taken already. Did your linebackers look like trash already? They got wiped out already. Your linebackers?
Yeah, Marvin Wilson went to the Green Bay Packers at 62.
I could see that too. That's crazy. Levi. Looks like the Levi is the consensus in there. What about McNeil? He's gone too, probably. Looks like, right?
Yeah, I don't see McNeil at all in here. Let me see.
The Texans took Paris forward. That looks like something they would do.
Oh, Tyson Campbell went to Tennessee. That makes sense, man. Tyson Campbell's another one of my pet cats. Let's see.
Yeah, those Georgia boys put on a show the other day. They had a lot of speed. Got a lot of Levi's. Marvin's gone. Yeah, Marvin's gone. Tommy T and Levi.
So it looks like we're going Levi. Oh man, it's mixed, man. It's super mixed.
Yeah, got a lot of Levi's and a couple of Tommy T's at Ohio State, which is a really good player. I'm a Tommy Tagai fan as well. That guy, he's good. So it would be to me it would be like a coin toss between those two guys. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. To be quite honest, it's kind of what is your favor. But the chat box looks like the consensus is Levi.
Levi?
Onzawerki.
You are here.
There you go, guys. You and Mike.
Cowboy. That's what Jerry Jones always says to people when he's talking to people. How you doing, Cowboy? It's Jerry Jones. All right, here we go. All right, now are we going to look at some OTs in this one, Joe?
You are now in the comp pick.
Oh, here we go. Here's your Notre Dame guy right here. Hainsey in the house.
Let's see who else we got. Spencer Brown is a really good one as well. I like him. Spencer Brown. Deontay Smith's good. Who do you guys want to look at? We got a couple guys want you to look at cornerback again. I don't know if we want to double. Do you want to double dip? What's linebacker looking like, Mike?
Let's go linebacker. I should have bought that wireless mouse when I had the chance. I still can. I'll have a wireless mouse for next show, Joe. Here we go. Oh, Monty Rice in the building.
Who else you got there, Mike?
In the linebacker position?
Yeah. Baron Brown, KJ Britt, Garrett Wallow. See, a lot of these other linebackers you can get a little bit later, I feel like. Who do you guys want Mike to look at?
Monty Rice.
You want to look at cornerbacks? Who you got cornerbacks?
Oh, okay. Let's go corner then, huh?
Do you want to double dip at corner? Calvin
Joseph. That's the risk pick, ain't it?
Yeah, and it's a comp pick too. So but he is where would you put him though? I don't see Calvin Joseph as a slot corner. So I don't know. I think you already have Surtain. You probably want to look more at a traditional nickel, possibly, if you want to look at corner. Got a couple safeties. You got a couple people wanting linebacker. Got a couple linebackers. Paulson Adebo. Spencer Brown. That's a good one. Army Mom Heather C. wants Brown. I'm down with that too. Army Mom. I like him. CB. Jesse Falls. Pete Warner, great coverage linebacker. Yeah, I think he's better in that regard.
You try to find some guards here, replace Connor Williams or what, bud?
Which one?
Connor Williams, you want to replace him right here in this draft with this comp pick or what, bud?
Who you got? Who do you have at guard?
Right here. Oh, they switched to linebacker or to running back. Hold up. Here you go. Right here. There's your guards. What the heck?
Trey Smith. That's a good one. He can give you some flex. I like Trey Smith a lot. I think he's a hell of a player. Who else you got? You got a couple of centers. Maybe linebacker, Mike. I think you might need to adjust linebacker. We haven't added anybody in free agency, so it's possible they might add somebody here in the next couple of days. Just to throw a body. And we're probably gonna get some flex out of Keanu O'Neal, but still, we're missing bodies at line. I would go linebacker myself. Guys in the chat box, where do you want to go with this comp pick here? Trey Smith, Cleveland Brown says LB linebacker. Yeah, Lee and Joe Thomas are gone.
Are we going with Monty Rice then?
Who do you guys want Mike to go with, guys? We've got Monty Rice, Dylan Moses, Pete Warner, Cameron McGrone.
Linebacker. Moses, Dalen Moses.
We got Pete Warner, please. We got Rice. We got Moses.
Man, y'all ain't helping me out here. It's a split decision. I love this. I love it, Joe.
We got Brian Peters says no Rice.
No Rice. Yeah. Warner. Yeah. It looks like to me it's Rice. We dropped our phone in water, Joe. We got to put it in some rice. All right.
You got a couple of Rices. Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty good mix here in the chat box, guys. Looks like it was between Warner and Rice. You might even still be able to get Warner here, possibly in the fourth, if you want to double dip there, which I wouldn't be opposed to that either. But maybe you want to start mixing it up here with an offensive player, possibly. Let's see what comes
Pete
up
Warner's
here.
Still right there. Pete Warner still. We double dipping in linebacker, Joe. You brought up a great point. We haven't touched a linebacker in free agency at all. We've been helping on special teams a lot. Can Monty Rice or Moses or Pete Warner or one of these linebackers, can we double dip in linebacker here and get away with it, Joe?
Yeah.
I think these guys are behind. I still see a lot of.
We got some Warners.
Rice is already taken, y'all. We just drafted him. I think the chat's a little behind here. The first 4 picks need to be all dogs, 100.
Joe and Mike still promoting offense. Oh, yeah, it's not going to be all defense, brother.
Have we drafted offense yet? I don't think we've drafted offense.
The Lunatic in the house, bro. Appreciate you for joining the chat. Appreciate you, bro. We do have that contest announcement coming out here. I'm going to try to get that out this weekend. It's been super busy here lately, but we do have a contest coming out for all subscribers and members, sponsored by the Lunatic. Shout out to him in the house. Thank you, the Lunatic. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, the Lunatic is everywhere. He is the super fan of super fans.
Yeah, I like the Lunatic a lot.
Great guy. We got some people wanting you to look at O-line. The Lunatic says, bring Browning home to Frisco. He is from Frisco. Do you want to bring him home? Hell of a player. Got some Pete Warners. There we go, Mike.
Oh, we got Robert Hedges right there, the tackle. Who did you say to look at?
Linebackers. People looking at Browning. Warner still. Looks like they want a double dip there.
Warner? Are we going Warner?
We got O-line here. Trey Smith available. Man, I would love him too. Trey Smith. But this is your pick, guys. You and subscribers, Mike. What do y'all want to do?
Trey Smith is available. But who would he start over? Is Connor Williams really going to give up his position to Trey Smith? Come on. That's what we got to think about here, guys. That's what we got to think about.
But the other side of that coin is, at what game does Tyron Smith go ouch? And Trey Smith can give you guard and tackle flex. So it's very tempting. Hell of a player. I love him.
You know what, Joe? I think what you just said, the whole chat should be putting Trey Smith in the comments section.
And they are. They're starting to really pour it in. They're starting to come in here with the Smith idea.
Smith, Schmitty. And we're going it, Joe. We're going. That was a great point. You got that position flex and guard and tackle. Let's go. We had to go. We had to go tackle right there. We had to go O-line right there. We had to.
Great pick. So now you're in the 4th round comp pick mode, baby.
Oh, here we are, right here. Yep.
The lunatic. Yeah, if 77 gives us 12 of the 17 games, then Smith, yes. I agree.
The second's right there, Joe. Spencer Brown is right there. Well, we just went tackle, but look at that. Look at Patrick Jones just sitting there smiling at me.
A Debo right here. We got somebody wants to go cornerback here. Tight end. We got a tight end with exclamation points. What do you got in tight ends? Let's take a peek there.
Hunter Long.
Hunter Long. Tony Pollock.
Oh, look at that. Trey McKitty. How can you not draft a guy like McKitty?
I hadn't seen his film. Trey McKitty. I'm not sure there.
Yeah, kitty.
Can we look at edge? Joseph Sandberg wants you to take a look at edge.
Yeah, we can go edge. Right there. Patrick Jones is right there in our face.
Who you got there? Patrick Jones, Malone, Ellerson.
Another Smith.
Who else you got down there, Mike?
Yep. Let's go look at the right there.
Patrick Johnson.
I got that Smith from you,
Chauncey
Joe.
Golston. Obadunji, Notre Dame. Not bad. Patrick Jones, still a little bit wrong, but
Hey, Franks is there. I'm drafting him. Brad Cannon said quarterback.
I think we're good with Gilbert, man. I don't think I'm going to use. Yeah. Brevin Jordan was there.
That's what I do for fun. Is he available? Felipe Franks is right there, Joe.
I'm not taking a quarterback. I'm not.
Hey, I'm telling you, Felipe Franks is going to be something in the league. Y'all watch. Y'all heard it here first. Here we go. So let's go back to edge. I like Patrick Jones the second. Who likes Patrick Jones the second?
Guys, do you want him to take Patrick Jones? Army Mom Heather C says no, exclamation points. Corner, Lee Burright wants you to look at running backs.
Oh.
That's a curveball move the Cowboys certainly would probably do at some point. Hubbard, he's really good. Sermon's really good. Kylan Hill, Cowboys met with him at the Senior Bowl. Who else you got there? J.D. Verdell. Who else is down there, Mike? You could probably get these guys later rounds.
On free agency over here.
Puka Williams out of Kansas, guys. If you haven't looked at Puka Williams out of Kansas, check him out. He gives you great speed, return game capability. He would be one of those anti-metric type of players in a later round. But Puka Williams, I would love to get that guy in here.
Hey, Cuckoo Williams?
Puka.
Oh, Kuka.
Out of Kansas. But he's a later round guy. I wouldn't take him this early. Somebody says, let's get a kicker. That's a good point there, Mike, from the Av. The Cowboys actually did, and I didn't mention this, but the Cowboys did meet with McPherson, the kicker out of LSU. They did meet with him, so keep an eye on that one there, everybody. If you haven't checked out the kicker from LSU, Cowboys met with him.
You definitely can't draft a kicker on here.
Is that even available?
I already looked.
That's funny. They get no love. No kickers. They don't give any love. That's funny, bro.
So what are we thinking here?
We got who's at corner? So take a look there, I guess. I think they want you to take a look there at corner. Cameron Bynum. Adebo is there. Adebo would probably be my pick here, Mike.
Adebo? I don't know. That Patrick Jones with that defensive line looked pretty refreshing.
Patrick Jones, please. Adebo. So we got a lot of Adebos rolling in here to the chat.
It's y'all. It's their draft, Joe. So they want to go a Debo. They're gonna steal this. They're gonna Debo a Debo. All right.
All right, guys. You guys swayed Mike into taking Paulson Adebo, which is a hell of a pick. I gotta say,
Adebo.
I like Adebo there. We are now in the 5th round. Cowboys.
This is our last pick. We got
our last pick, guys. What about Divine Diablo? See if he's out there, Mike. He would be a linebacker or safety. I don't know how PFF has him in here.
But what's his name?
Divine Diablo. They might have him in the safety. Yeah, he's probably gone.
Like that, Divine?
Yeah.
Oh, no Divine.
He's gone. Long gone.
Oh, look at Felipe Franks. Look where Felipe Franks went to. Bill Belichick knows how to get quarterbacks, Joe.
I'm telling you, if he becomes something, Mike will definitely be the first one to tell all of us. Yeah. He told us about Felipe Franks. He's been talking Felipe Franks since the Senior Bowl.
Even behind the scenes, man.
Yeah, even behind the scenes. Yeah, you're sure right. Stearns is good at that spot. Yeah.
We need an edge rusher, man. Jonathan Cooper's right there, too.
That's a good one, bro. I like Jonathan Cooper.
I like Jonathan Cooper, too.
Dalen Hayes, he's pretty good, too. But either of those two guys is still there. Who else? Anybody else down there on edge?
Let's look.
Who else I got? Yeah, they got a little bit wiped out. 5th round, yeah. You're kind of pushing it there. Those two will probably be the last of the Mohicans as far as.
I think we should go Jonathan Cooper here.
We got a Virginia tight end, if he's still there. Joe Snowden. Nathan Abraham says Snowden. Soup Trap says Hamklar Rashid. Is he still there?
There's tight end here.
Tight end to replace Bell. Who you got?
There's McKitty again. I just want to draft it because I can say, hey, kitty. Here we go.
Yeah, those tight ends got wiped out. Blocking tight end. Paul John. Caden Stearns, that's tempting too. But we did already get our safety, right? You got Grant.
Yep. And then when they do sign Hooker and Kazee.
Yeah, then you got a pretty big logjam there. I probably wouldn't go safety again here.
Keith Taylor, he sounds like he should be singing country music.
I think that DE sounds like the spot for me, man.
I think you're right.
Because you did bring in Basham.
Jonathan Cooper.
Can you get better than Dorrance Armstrong? Yeah, I think you can.
You can.
And
I think you get better with Jonathan Cooper, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and he's on his last year anyway, too, so.
Jonathan Cooper!
Do it, bro.
And, wow, they gave me an F for Surtain at number 10, Joe.
I don't know how this thing does these grades. I kind of I don't know what the deal is with that. Let's do a quick overview here, guys. So you got Surtain with your first pick, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't give that an F. I give that an A+.
I give that an A, yeah, for sure.
Richie Grant in the second, which I think is quite possible. It's going to be between him and Trevon Merrick with the first safety to come off the board. If he's there, that's a steal. Levi.
Everyone's laughing at an F. We flunked.
Levi Unzawerki. That's a good one there. B+.
Mm-hmm.
They gave you C+ on Monty Rice. Monty Rice, pretty good player there.
Choice. Grant was a subscriber choice. Levi was subscriber choice. Monty Rice, that was me. I kind of influenced them. Trey Smith was subscriber choice. Adebo was subscriber. Well, that was your choice, Joe. Jonathan Cooper was your choice. And so we had the subscribers had a lot of say so in this.
Yeah, I like these picks, man. You come away with this draft class, it's good, man.
You're coming away with the draft class. You're in really good shape.
You're in really good shape, and this is through just 5 rounds. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be interesting to see if they do use all of these picks, or do they package them to move up to get maybe some players that they really really want. So, but overall, sticking by and not moving up or down, I think it's a pretty good draft. Everybody, shout out to everybody in the chat box. Hit like on this because you guys really helped out in this one. So like this for you guys. Hit that like button, guys. Mike, great job running it. 5 rounds. Good times, baby. Love it.
Times roll.
Bradley and I in the mix, too. Let's see what he does. That's a good point there.
Yeah, these are the guys, man, that we need to talk about. Tristan Hill. You can't forget about Tristan Hill. You can't forget about Bradley and I. You can't forget about Francis Bernard. I really don't think you can forget about that guy. And there's some players on this defense.
Reggie Robinson, Heather.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. I love that Trey Smith pick, man. I think he's going to play. If you draft Trey Smith, he will play. Great draft, guys. Great draft. I think that's it, guys. We don't want this to go too long. Great mock draft by the subscribers pitching in. Mike running the 5-round draft. That's great. We'll do this again next week. We're at the end of free agency. We might do a post free agency wrap up, possibly, maybe, but we are full speed ahead towards the draft again. We're full speed draft season, bro. Make sure you guys hit up the draft season shirt. 25% off with the code draft. All right. So, guys, shout out to all you guys in the house. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, buddy.
Yeah, I just got a follower from right here on the Frisco Report, Shrimp72. Maybe he was a watcher if he wasn't. Thanks for following me on Twitter if you're watching right now. _ Cowboys Corner right there. Joe has it. Cowboys Corner on YouTube, guys. I promise off-season videos are coming back. I've been sitting back too long watching other YouTubers brainwash you guys. I got to come back and pull you back to reality. Pull you back into reality because Cowboy YouTubers, man, they let their brain scroll through Twitter too much, and they feed into that Skip Bayless and that Stephen A. Smith and all these other agendas. I'm back here to save your minds from getting washed up, guys. So I'm going to be pulling you back right here on the Cowboys Corner. Maybe tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, Joe. Hold me accountable. Starting tomorrow.
Yeah, it's good to always have different varying views for sure. So great point there, Mike. Shout out to everybody again. Make sure you guys hit like on your way out. We do appreciate you, and we'll catch you for the next one. Thanks, everybody. Peace.